Have you ever heard a story so unexpected that it grabs your heart and refuses to let go? Stay with me till the end, because what happened to this wealthy single father who had everything in life except peace will leave you speechless. Daniel Rivers was the kind of man people either admired or envied. At 40, he was a self-made millionaire, the proud owner of a booming tech company, and lived in a mansion many could only dream of. But behind all the wealth, the private jets, the designer suits, there was one truth he could never hide. He was lonely. His wife had passed away 5 years earlier during childbirth, leaving him to raise their daughter, Emma, alone. Since that day, his life was no longer about business or pleasure. It revolved around Emma. She was his world, his reason to smile after long exhausting days, and the one person who reminded him what love felt like. One rainy Saturday afternoon, Daniel decided to take Emma to the city park. He rarely got free time from his tight schedule, but Emma had been begging to go see the ducks at the pond. She was 6 years old now, full of life, with her mother's brown eyes and his mischievous smile. Daniel promised her he would spend the entire day with her. No phone calls, no meetings, just father and daughter. But as fate would have it, life never goes as planned. While Daniel was distracted for just a few moments answering a text from his assistant, Emma disappeared. At first, he thought she was just hiding behind a tree, playing one of her little games. But seconds turned into minutes, and panic consumed him. He ran frantically across the park, calling her name, his voice breaking. "Ma, where are you?" Parents stared, strangers whispered, and Daniel felt the crushing weight of fear pressing against his chest. Then, suddenly, he froze. Just a few feet away, near the swings, he saw a woman holding Emma. His first instinct was anger. How dare someone touch his daughter? He stormed forward, ready to snatch her away. But then he noticed something strange. Emma wasn't crying. She wasn't scared. She was hugging the stranger tightly, as if she knew her. The woman bent down, whispering something into Emma's ear that made Daniel's heart stop. Emma smiled through her tears, nodding as though comforted. "Who are you?" Daniel demanded, his voice harsher than he intended. The woman looked up at him, her eyes wide but calm. She was young, maybe in her early 30s, with soft features and an air of quiet strength. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "I found her wandering by the pond, crying. She told me she was lost. I just a broken bar. I couldn't leave her alone." Relief washed over Daniel, but so did curiosity. Emma tugged on his sleeve and whispered, "Daddy, she told me Mommy loves me." Daniel's world stopped. His chest tightened, and he felt the sting of tears in his eyes. Nobody talked about his late wife in front of Emma, not even him. He had always been too afraid it would break him. Yet here was this stranger, telling his little girl exactly what she needed to hear. "Why would you say that to her?" he asked, his voice trembling between gratitude and suspicion. The woman hesitated. "Because I know what it's like to lose a mother too soon. Sometimes, children need reminders that love doesn't end, even when people do." I could see it in her eyes as she needed to hear it. For the first time in years, Daniel felt his guarded walls crack. He introduced himself, and she told him her name was Grace. They sat on a nearby bench while Emma played again, this time giggling as though nothing had happened. Grace shared her story of how she had grown up in foster care after losing her mom in an accident, how she dedicated her life to volunteering at shelters, making sure no child ever felt abandoned. The more Daniel listened, the more he realized how much Grace understood about pain, healing, and hope. They exchanged numbers that day, not because of attraction, but because Daniel knew Emma had connected with her in a way he never imagined possible. Over the weeks that followed, Grace became a quiet presence in their lives. She helped Emma open up about her mother, told her bedtime stories when Daniel worked late, and encouraged Daniel himself to stop hiding from grief. But Daniel's world wasn't without challenges. His board of directors began questioning his choices when they noticed him canceling meetings to attend Emma's school plays or taking days off to spend with her and Grace. He was torn between protecting the empire he built and being the father Emma needed. And just as things seemed to settle, an old rumor spread in the media that Grace was only close to him for money. Paparazzi stalked them. Headlines screamed of scandal, and Daniel, shaken by betrayal in the past, almost pushed her away. Then came the night Emma fell ill with the severe asthma attack. Grace was the one who rushed her to the hospital when Daniel froze in panic. Grace stayed by Emma's side, holding her tiny hand until she could breathe again. Daniel realized then what he had been too afraid to admit up. This woman wasn't here for his wealth or his status. She was here because she cared, deeply, for both him and Emma. One evening, as Emma slept peacefully, Daniel looked at Grace with tears in his eyes and whispered, "You've given my daughter back the one thing I couldn't, her mother's love. And you've given me something I thought I'd lost forever, a broken bar, hope." The story of Daniel, Grace, and little Emma wasn't just about chance. It was about how love finds us in the most unexpected ways. It was about how strangers can become family, how broken hearts can learn to heal, and how sometimes, what you've been searching for is waiting right where you least expect it. So, the next time life throws you into despair, remember this: healing often walks into your life disguised as a stranger, and what they whisper may change you forever.